Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 197. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this belated Sunday evening, Earth date December 29th, 2019. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brennan. Jesus Christ, who let the fucking Tyrannosaurus in here?
I'm Tyrannosaurus Brandon now.
A lot of things have changed since October.
Yeah, I actually, since October, we haven't recorded since August.
No, it's October 22nd was when the episode was released. Yes.
But we recorded in August.
Shh. Listen, we're going by the date that it was released, Brandon.
So since then, I had my DNA merged with the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Makes sense. August 15th was 195. And then August, I don't know. What exactly was it? That's
Mark? Everybody out there listening?
Yeah, everybody getting... We'll find out. Hold on.
We're in this together.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 196. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this luxurious Monday evening, Earth date, August 19th, 2019. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
What?
Okay, so August 19th was when we recorded the last episode, and then I finally got it released on October 22nd. So nearly a month later, I finally got it edited.
That would be 2 months later.
2 months. No, August, September. Oh, yeah, you're right.
You forgot September, my birth
September doesn't really matter to me. Oh, yeah, your birthday.
Yeah.
This is awkward.
Ooh.
Ooh, hey, let me adjust my tie over here for all of our older listeners getting this joke. Ooh.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, that's all dumb.
So, we haven't recorded an episode in a long time. I don't feel like we've lost any of the magic.
No, I feel like, if anything, the magic is stronger.
Yeah, we've got stronger magic. So, I want to real quick thank our patrons. I'm going to be this guy right now. I'm not going to put the crappy ogre thing that I did before. Bucky, Chad, Heavy No More, Real Fat Tony, Stephen Hines, all get a magical shout out right now for continuing to be our patrons, even though we haven't recorded an episode since at least half of them signed up to be a patron.
Yeah. It's almost a little silly.
It is.
I mean, I appreciate it for sure.
We do. We appreciate the love. We appreciate you keeping up. You know, it's only $1 to $5 is our patronage thing for a month.
Yeah.
But just even that little bit, you know, I'm still technically paying for the hosting and stuff. So all of that just goes right back into paying for that. And I appreciate you guys sticking around and just letting it slide on by, even though we haven't actually had a chance to put anything out. To recap a little bit, of course, I have been in school. I had to get a job as well, and just balancing that and trying to get my homework done and trying to keep my grades up and working. I haven't really had much time to do extracurricular projects like the podcast or work on streamer stuff.
Yeah.
Which I had also been doing. And it's just been chasing my ass to make sure that I get my homework done. Mostly because I am convinced, even more so now, and you've all heard this before, that I have ADD. And this second semester has even further driven that point home because it's just, like I get so distracted so easily. I'm really thinking about finding some Adderall, laying on the side of the road to try and take it and just see what happens.
Or you could see
if I
like an
become
actual
fucking-
doctor.
Nah, that sounds expensive.
Versus finding pills on the side of the road
Yeah,
and
I
taking
mean,
them.
what's the chances? I know how to use a pill identifier. I'll just not take anything that's labeled methamphetamine.
See, that was where I was going to go, was I was going to suggest amphetamines.
Yeah, well, Adderall is an amphetamine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically an amphetamine.
Yeah, just not a meth amphetamine.
I don't think it's even basically an amphetamine. I think it is.
Yeah,
an
there's
amphetamine.
four. I think there's like 4 different types of Adderall. I already researched it, but there's like 4 different types of Adderall. I think that are different amphetamines. I don't think it was this one. I think it was one of the other ones. Amphetamine, dextroamphetamine, belongs to a class of drugs known as stimulants. It can help increase your ability to pay attention, stay focused on an activity, and control behavioral problems. It may also help you organize your tasks and improve your listening skills. It's also used to treat certain types of narcolepsy.
Huh.
To help you stay awake during the day so you don't go to sleep in the evening. Or so you can go to sleep in the evening. It should not be used to treat tiredness or to hold off sleep in people who do not have a sleeping disorder. So yeah, but I definitely find myself like I know the task that I need to do, and I start doing the task, and then I get distracted. And I'm even telling myself physically, like I'm physically telling my brain, or my brain is telling the rest of me, no, don't do this thing. You need to do this thing. And then I'm like, but this thing will just take a minute. And then that thing ends up taking an hour and a half. And then I get sidetracked on something else. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this video is only 15 minutes. I can spare 15 minutes. And I just can't make myself get back on task. And it's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, that's something you voiced before that
Yeah.
you found frustrating.
Yeah. So I don't know. I figure if, at some point I would like to get to a doctor and see if maybe just a 5 milligrams, that's the lowest dosage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly where I'd want to start off. I don't want to start off higher.
Yeah, that's where they'd start you off anyway,
Yeah.
just to see. The ADHD and ADD test is miserable.
Is it?
I hated it.
Oh, yeah.
I took the test and I was right on the cusp.
Uh-huh.
Basically, you have a screen and you're connected to a keyboard and you have to hit the enter key every time a dot pops up.
Uh-huh.
But the test goes on for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So it's to test how easily you get distracted and how slow your reaction time starts to get as you start to get bored with this tedious task.
That makes sense. But the problem is I like tedious tasks like that.
So maybe you don't have ADD then. I mean, it's not an
Maybe.
exact science, I don't think.
And yeah.
It just seems like basically my doctor gave me the test and she was like, you're right on the verge. I'm going to go ahead and prescribe this to you so you can try it out. And if it doesn't work for you, then you don't have it, but I'm pretty sure that you do.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should try it out sometime.
Sweet, sweet drugs.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah. I am pointedly not a fan of taking drugs, but you have to sometimes.
Yeah.
I understand that. I understand the reason and logic of lines.
I'm on a delicious cocktail of drugs myself.
You are. So have you been stepped back now?
No,
Like we haven't really talked a lot, but you were on a big cocktail of things.
I'm still on the same cocktail.
Gotcha.
My doctor was stepping back my anxiety meds
Uh-huh.
because they're super addictive
Yeah.
and can cause memory loss as you get older.
Uh-huh.
So he's stepped me back some, so I'm taking less than I was before.
Okay. And has your body coped with it?
Yeah. I was on such a small dosage of it anyway. I'm on the lowest dosage. It's Klonopin is what I'm on.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the lowest dosage that you can prescribe.
Okay.
And most of the time, if I'm feeling like anxious, I'll take a quarter or a half of one.
Okay.
So I'm not super concerned about being physically addicted to it, although I probably am since I've been taking it for a few years now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I take such a small amount that I'm not concerned about if I ever have to wean myself completely off of it.
Yeah. And you're taking even less than, your prescribed dosage.
Right.
So that's cool.
Well, I get 20 a month,
Yeah.
so I
have to
can't take one every day.
Yeah. So you almost have to cut them in half or quarters.
Yeah,
In
so
order
I
for
can
it to
take them.
do-
I use it to sleep mostly. It helps me to calm down at night
Mm-hmm.
because I get super jazzed up at night.
Yeah. Never mind that coffee addiction that you have.
Yeah, that coffee and caffeine addiction. The 8 to 10 cups of coffee I'll drink and then a 2-liter of Diet Pepsi.
It is surprising to me how much caffeine affects you now versus what it used to before.
Yeah, I know.
Like you must have a sensitivity to caffeine that all of the other shit that was going on with your life got counteracted back when you were younger.
I don't know. I mean, whenever I was younger, I would drink like 5 or 6 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's not unusual for me to drink like 12 to 15 cups of coffee.
Holy balls. Okay, yeah.
That's why whenever I message at like 1 a.m. and I'm like, man, I'm so jazzed up. I stopped drinking coffee around 7, but then I moved to Diet Pepsi.
And by 7 o'clock, you've had 47 cups of coffee.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
It's like that episode of Futurama where Fry drinks 100 cups of coffee in a day and he goes into slow motion.
Yeah, he gains like
super speed. He saves everybody from a fire at an art gallery.
That was a great episode.
It was a Christmas episode too, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I didn't like Adderall.
Yeah.
Because it didn't do what it was supposed to. I don't think I have ADD because it just made me fucking hyper as shit.
Right, yeah.
You can go and if you listen to our podcasts from like 3 years ago, I think that's when I was on Adderall.
Oh, yeah.
And you can scrub to almost any point in the podcast and it's me talking. I used to do that when the new episodes would come out. I would bounce around because I wouldn't listen to them totally.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was me talking 90% of the time.
It's funny. Well, I mean, yeah, but you bring the content, so you should be talking most of the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's the trade-off.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've drank a decent amount of coffee today, so I'm fucking ready to go.
You fucking balls to the wall,
Ready
baby.
to go.
Yeah, woohoo! I couldn't do the high pitch. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Okay.
I do want to point out that you're shirtless.
I am. I am not wearing a shirt. My nipples are bare for the world to see. That sound right
Don't
there?
rub your chest hair into the
That's my chest
microphone.
hair. That's my chest hair. I don't know if it picked up. It might not have.
It probably did.
It probably did. There's a lot there.
You are a hairy man.
It's like
I
I'm
know
wearing
we've
a
discussed that
sweater
before, but you are a hairy guy.
I am. There's a little bit of surprise as if Brandon hasn't seen this all of his life. But
I know. Well, we haven't really hung out in months now.
I know. I keep telling him to come over, and he's just like, eh.
You came over and brought me food,
Yes.
and that was the last time I've seen you.
Yeah.
And that was like a month ago.
Yeah. Yep. That was like Thanksgiving leftovers or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or no, didn't I make something?
Yeah, it was lentils.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It was like a lentil thing. Yeah.
I totally should have brought your Tupperware back. I know this is thrilling listening right now, but I completely forgot, or I would have brought your Tupperware back with me.
So speaking of things that happened in the past, let's be these assholes and do like a recap of our year.
Okay.
Tell me about your year. A year in review with Brandon Full and Remington Hitchcock. What has changed over the year? What has been good and what has been bad for you this year? You can start off with the bad and then go into the good if you want to like curb any like depression that might come of it.
No, it's been all right. I mean, the big change in my life is I lost my job at Japanese NASA.
Uh-huh.
So I've been gathering unemployment while I've been looking for another job that pays me remotely close to what Japanese NASA paid me.
Yeah.
Which has been difficult. And
yeah, it's hard to find a job in this area that pays decently without just literally working your fucking ass off. You either have to work 50 hours a week for like $8.50 an hour or...
Yeah, exactly. And that's my problem. I mean, I know I could go to like Little Caesars and get a job, but do I really want to work like...
Dude, I was literally talking to a manager there night before last. This was before my stomach decided to explode. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I was talking to her, and she had come over. She had went to Little Caesars on South Side from McDonald's because she was tired of McDonald's bullshit. They quote unquote done her dirty. And then so she came over. She got risen to the ranks. She is now the manager of the store over in Vienna because apparently it was being run by a bunch of kids who didn't know how to do their job. So I asked her, I was like, just out of curiosity, what she makes $9.50 as a manager.
That's insane.
That is insane. I mean, I know it's Little Caesars, but fuck all.
Yeah, seriously.
Like a manager should at least be making $10 to $12 an hour.
Yeah.
At least.
She's like the manager of the whole store?
Yes. She was like, yeah, my GM only makes $14 an hour. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's no incentive to work those jobs. And
no,
I
don't know why people do that to themselves. Like,
well, there's like the argument that those jobs are made for younger people.
Well, but even so, like a manager's position, like if you want to keep good people, you have to pay those people better.
Yeah. If they raise you up because the managers that were there before were shitty,
yeah,
then they should be paying you
Like, if your performance is good, then by God, you should be getting a raise every 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if it's just leaps and bounds better.
And that's the thing. Like I was saying, I could go to Little Caesars or I could go to McDonald's and I could get a job. And I know this probably makes me sound a little spoiled, but I was making good money at my last job.
Yeah.
And now, like, I get unemployment, and yeah, that's enough to sort of live off of, but not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it sucks.
It
Trying to
does.
find a job sucks.
It does.
So that's the negative. The positive,
Uh-huh.
the new Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
And I put 40 hours into that, 46 hours into Pokemon.
Only 46?
Only
You
46.
slacker.
Well,
I've heard people who've already put hundreds of hours into that stupid game.
oh yeah, stupid game.
Stupid.
You watch your whore
Listen-
mouth, Remington Hitchcock.
Listen, Brandon Full. I've put many hours into Pokemon Go, and I can still call it a stupid game.
Yeah, that's a lot of people who are shiny hunting,
Yeah.
trying to get like the shiny exotic Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that a little bit, but it is just so fucking time consuming.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to put a lot of time into a game. Surprisingly enough, games don't really hold my interest as much as they used to.
Yeah.
Pokemon did, but besides that, like I've had Final Fantasy IX on my Switch for 6 months now,
Yeah.
and I've put 10 hours into it.
Oh, wow. That's not much for a Final Fantasy game.
That's nothing. I've reached like the first main area.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why do you think that is? Just games not holding your attention?
I don't know. I think it's part of just the unhappiness that I had.
Uh-huh.
Because once I lost my job, I was already dealing with depression anyway.
Yeah.
And then once I lost my job, I really kind of spiraled into it.
Yeah.
But I've been pulling myself out of it some. I've been feeling a lot better.
That's good.
Trying to stay more positive.
It's one of those, like, that is one of those things that always sucks tremendously. And the idea of getting out is the thing that I always tend to want to come back to, because it's so easy. I mean, number one, I know it's an easy thing to say, and it's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but especially in a situation where you literally have nothing else to do but spend time with yourself.
Yeah.
Making yourself go out just to do something, just to get out of the same stale air of sitting in the apartment.
Yeah.
Is one of those things that always strikes me as something that could, even if it doesn't actually, change your mood at all, at least you're breathing different air.
Yeah. Which is something I've been trying to do. I mean, I don't really have a lot of friends to go hang out with.
Yeah, and I've been working a lot.
Making it sound depressing. I don't really have a lot of friends.
So what we're trying to say is, here's Brandon's address. Come and be friends with him.
Yeah.
Hang out with him.
Just come hang out.
Take
Here's
him
my
to
phone number,
places.
304. No.
He doesn't drink anymore, so it has to be clean fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can bring Adderall. That's fine.
If you want to get him like fucking wired high shit ass. Yeah.
If you want to hear me talk for 4 hours straight, bring Adderall.
Yep. He's a fine looking gentleman.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. He's clean. He has a nice haircut that's still holding true.
Mhm.
Because you got that cut, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It still looks good. It's not bushy Brandon yet.
Yeah, it'll get there, but it's not bushy Brandon yet.
Yeah. You look like a crazy person when your hair is
I know.
grown out.
I look like a
it's
mad scientist.
So much wave. You have so much wave in your hair.
So yeah, I'm a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Stephen Hines, Diamond Man, if you want to come over.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saying. I'm a sensitive lover.
It's true. Now it's just become Dueling Ogres dating.
Yeah. Lots of crying. Be ready for that.
Oh, God. No, you don't cry.
Only during.
Only during and after.
And mostly before.
Oh, I can't even. Oh,
So yeah, that's been my week. My year, really.
really?
I
Yeah.
had a good Christmas.
Yeah.
Got my daughter a kalimba, which is like a finger piano.
Yeah. I've heard her play it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's cute.
So she really loves that. She's been learning a lot of songs on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. You fools have a certain artistic bone to you,
We do.
whether it be music or art or something along those lines.
She's picked up on it so fast too. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing about children's minds is they're so malleable.
Yeah.
Like if you just pick the right thing that like causes that frontal cortex to fire, that's the thing.
Yeah, she was trying to teach me Christmas songs, and it was just, I couldn't figure it out. My old man hands were just like, what do you do? How do you press this?
Where do the buttons go?
Oy vey.
I don't understand this non-controller technology.
Give me an Xbox, for God's sake.
I'll do it in what was wasn't there like a Mario, didn't Mario Paint have like a music maker or something in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came with a mouse.
Yeah.
And you would use the mouse to make Mario music.
God, I miss that game.
God, I own Mario Paint. I just don't have the mouse for it.
That sucks. Well, mark down that thing for Brandon for Christmas.
Well, my Super Nintendo doesn't work either.
Oh, well.
After I moved, I took it out of storage and tried to hook it up, and it just won't power on at all.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So I need to get a new Super Nintendo too.
Yeah. This year is pretty much just kind of flown by for me. First semester, I got a 3.8 or something, made the dean's list, and while I was doing that, I was living off of unemployment as well. And then summertime came, and I worked at the hot dog joint.
Yeah.
And we did the podcast stuff, and that was all fine and good. And after that, school started up again. He had to shut down for the season. I had to find a new job, which is really where all of the hustle and bustle has happened, where I haven't been able to nail down a time for us to actually do this. Because it's not like I'm working 40 hours a week per se, or am I? I haven't even been keeping track of my hours. But, I'm off, or I was off Tuesdays and Thursdays, but that was my school days.
Yeah.
So I'd work 11 to 6:30 and then come home and try to do homework and then go to school and then repeat. So that's all that it was.
There was just no way for us to record.
Yeah.
There's just no time for it on your end.
Yeah. I was running into like, I'd come home, I'd do homework, then I'd go to school, and then I'd come home and I'd start trying to do the homework for that day and then get ready for work. And it was just wash, rinse, and repeat. So, and try to keep myself, grounded.
Yeah.
So, but I did finish up this semester with a 3.5.
That's awesome.
So should make the dean's list again. And that brings my cumulative grade point average for my first year in college to a 3.66.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. So next semester I'll start my accounting classes, my first accounting class. I think I'm taking another English class with my first English teacher who I became friends with. And this past semester was his first year as a full-time at WVUP. So before he was just an adjunct.
Uh-huh.
And his office was with my most recent English teacher because I had English 102. So you had to have English 101 and then English 102. And so they both share the same office now. So my final paper for English, we had to do something that was kind of West Virginia related. And I did one on renewable energies versus coal, which if anybody who knows anything about West Virginia, like our two biggest imports or exports are John Denver songs and coal. And I think that's how I started off the paper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested in reading it, I'd be happy to post it on duelingogres.com. You just leave a message in the Facebook post or whatever below.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I think I feel like it was a really good paper. I got 200 out of 200 points on it.
Damn.
And I think the only thing that she said, I'm paraphrasing this, was you really know how to wrap up a paper or something like that. Like the final paragraph, the closing paragraph.
Yeah.
It was like punch in the gut. So I don't know. I was pretty proud of it.
Yeah, you should be.
And then it was like APA. The whole point of that class was to really like drill down on how to write a proper paper.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to be like perfectly APA formatted, et cetera, and so on. That was kind of the end goal of the class, was to be able to do that. But yeah, so next semester I decided to take another English class just because you have so many classes that you just kind of have to fill.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I was just like, I'll just do this one. And I have another history class as well with Kreitz.
Christ?
Kreitz.
Oh.
You remember Geek Hammer?
Yeah.
Him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, got that. And that's been my year. Christmas was good. It was really easy. We didn't have a whole lot of running around to do. Ginger's dad had his on the 22nd. Her mom had hers on Christmas. Vanessa had hers yesterday, but I was fucking dead, so I didn't go. I would have had to have worked anyway. So even if I would have felt good enough. So kind of missed out on that one, but hey,
That's a lot of Christmas stuff.
yeah. But like usually it's like all the 24th and the 25th, and that gets tiring.
Yeah.
So, but Ginger ended up having to work Christmas Eve until 7:30. So,
Damn.
yeah. So yeah, other than that, everything's just been ticking away as best as I can tick it away.
Bebopping along.
Bebopping along with the doodads. Yeah.
I heard somebody in a YouTube video say bebopping along.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they copyright it to me?
Yes.
Good.
They said, this is copyright Remington Hitchcock of the infamous Dueling Ogres podcast.
Why are we infamous?
I think you know why we're infamous.
Touche. That's a fair cop. So do you want to do any stories?
No.
Do you have them though, right?
I do have stories.
Well, why don't you just do one, Brandon? It's like, I mean, people come to this podcast for a specific thing, and it's certainly not our rousing stories about our humdrum lives.
Yeah, seriously. People are on the edge of their seats like, oh man, is Brandon going to talk more about Little Caesars?
Yeah.
The new Star Wars movie came out, Remington. I don't know if you heard about this.
What was this? What?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Was this like some sort of space battle?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Am I saying it right? Star Wars.
Sounds accurate to me. I don't know. So what of the space battle?
The Rise of
Battles in
Skywalker.
space. Wait, but there's no sky in space. Space is just sky. I don't
Remington.
understand.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Okay. Okay, so tell me about the Rise of Skywalker. Is it any better than the other crapshoot movies that they made before?
Well, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So,
That surprises me.
in usual Dueling Ogres fashion, neither of us have seen the most popular movie of the year so far.
Right. Is it, though? Is it rated the most popular movie of the year? I feel like it's been beaten out by, like, Jumanji.
It's crossed $361 million in North America.
Okay.
The J.J. Abrams directed film dominated holiday sales over the 5-day Christmas break with $136 million. This is from Sci-Fi Wire, by the way.
Okay.
For comparison, The Rise of Skywalker is tracking behind the second week numbers of The Force Awakens, $540 million,
Okay.
and The Last Jedi, $368 million, respectively.
Uh-huh.
Nevertheless, Rise is still expected to cross $1 billion like its predecessors as we head into the new year. Globally, the 9th Star Wars episode has raked in $725 million for the title of 10th highest grossing movie of the year.
Mm,
It's also the 7th biggest domestic release of 2019.
gotcha.
Second place was Jumanji: The Next Level.
There you go. Told you.
Third place was Frozen 2, which surprises me. I figured Frozen 2 would have been a huge sell.
Well, it was second, though, right? Is that what you said?
Third.
Third. I don't know. I mean, there have been a lot of good movies 2019. I think it's impressive that Frozen ranked third. I'm also not surprised.
These are just the rankings for the holidays.
Oh, okay.
These aren't
Gotcha.
for the year. I'm not sure what the rankings for the year are.
Okay.
Frozen 2 secured the third spot with an additional $26 million over the 5-day holiday period. To date, the animated follow-up has made $421 million domestically and $1.21 billion globally. As such, it has unseated Minions, $1.15 billion, as the third highest grossing animated film in history.
Wow, that's impressive. Again, not really surprising though. I mean, Frozen has a huge following,
Yeah,
both with children and adults.
just Disney movies in general.
Yeah. So I read a review that wasn't really a spoiler review for The Rise of Skywalker. And basically, you always have to take the reviews with a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing. I can imagine that if I were to sit down and watch the movie, I would enjoy it. But they said, I don't even remember where it came from, so apologies for not knowing my source, but it's been a couple weeks since I read it. They said that it was basically J.J. Abrams said that it would be a Star Wars movie. And it really was that, in the fact that all they did was just fan service previous Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
But that there was no real, character development. There was no, increasingly deep storyline or anything like that. It was just it's Star Wars. It's Star Wars,
Which sounds good enough to me. You know what I mean? I want to see a Star Wars movie. It's a Star Wars movie. Boom, bang.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I feel like having seen the first one and being kind of disappointed in how quickly Rey kind of came into her power.
Yeah.
There was no growth. Luke, it took him 2 movies before he realized the true power that he had.
Yeah, and Rey was fighting Kylo with a lightsaber.
Yeah, by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, having never held a sword in her life.
I like Rey as a character. I really do. She's a little flat, but for the most part, I enjoyed her. I liked Finn a lot from the 2 movies that I saw. And I will see Rise of Skywalker probably within the next week or so.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one at all. I've seen the Corridor Digital guys pick apart the special effects of it.
Yeah.
Which really makes me laugh and makes me also not want to see it. Because now all I will see are these blatant holes in the special effects.
I mean, you've never been a huge Star Wars fan, though, I wouldn't say. I mean, you've liked Star Wars, and I'd put myself in the same category as you. I love Star Wars, but I'm not, over the top wearing Jedi robes and seeing Star Wars movies.
No, but I
night.
mean, you can see the story of the first one or the story of the original trilogy versus, even the prequels had a little bit better storyline than these third ones have had. This third triad has had.
I don't know. I mean, I still haven't seen the third one. I was talking to my older brother over Christmas, and he had seen Rise of Skywalker, and he was talking about it.
Yeah.
And he had said that the first half feels like you're watching a movie that is just clips of other movies that you haven't seen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He said he was watching it, and there would be parts where he was like, what the fuck is this? Did this happen in another movie that I haven't seen?
Yeah, I think that's one thing that that reviewer said, that it felt very disjointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second half is really where it all kind of coheses together.
Uh-huh.
But no, I haven't seen it, so I don't really have a place to
talk about it.
Talk about it from, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I mean, just comparing the 2 that you have seen versus the original trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, while the effects are beautiful and much better, the storyline seems to just be lacking.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the nostalgia of the original Star Wars movies, too. Have you watched The Mandalorian?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither.
It's on
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. And that would be the only reason that I would get Disney Plus, would just be to watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But I've heard crazy raving good reviews. So for Christmas, Ginger bought a pattern, an amigurumi pattern. Do you remember what amigurumi is?
No. Is it a cat?
No, it's it's crocheted figurines.
Oh,
remember
yeah, that's
what
right.
Rebecca used to do? That's amigurumi. So she bought an amigurumi pattern for her friend who does that, and had her make me a baby Yoda.
Aw.
Or the child, because it's not technically Yoda.
You don't know that.
But yes, I do. The timelines don't match up.
Maybe Yoda went back in time as
there
a baby.
There is no established time travel in the Star Wars universe.
You haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet.
Neither of you.
Yeah, but I have read all the spoilers of Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, is it time travel? Is that how Rey got so good with a fucking lightsaber? Look at me, I can fucking force command people.
She pulled a Dragon Ball Z, where she went
sense.
into that extra dimensional pocket and trained for 100 years.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's what that little island that Luke was on.
Yeah,
that's why he became such a bitter blue milk baby. Hundreds of years
You know, an established
toiling in
canon
my anger.
that creature's milk is actually jizz.
Wait, what?
That blue creature's milk is actually semen.
What? I feel like you're making stuff up, Brandon.
Okay, I made that up. It just adds an entirely new level to Luke just chugging it down. I'm sorry, I went a little blue there. It won't happen again.
Yeah, it will.
It will.
At least half a dozen times. So yeah, I mean, so as far as will I watch it? I don't know. I still haven't watched the second one, so there's that.
Yeah.
You
You had opportunities to watch the
I
second one. You
do.
could have watched it on, well, you don't have Netflix, but you
Yeah.
could have downloaded it, or
Yeah,
I could have given you a copy of it.
yeah. I think I asked you for it.
You own a copy of it.
Do I own a copy of it?
Yeah, somebody got it for you, or Ginger got it.
The second one or the first one? I
The
thought it was
second
the first one. I don't even remember. See how this is how little I care about Star Wars anymore.
Yeah.
They've ruined it for me.
Have they?
J.J. Abrams, stick to Star Trek.
Ryan Johnson really is the one that kind of...
Oh yeah, he really dropped the ball in the second one, but
I like The Last Jedi, though. I love Force Awakens.
yeah.
I remember when Force Awakens came out and we still had Danny on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about it, and you guys shit all over The Force Awakens, and I was all happy-go-lucky about it. I was like, I thought it was great.
I feel like you have to have Dueling Ogres somewhere,
Yeah.
and I guess Star Wars is going to be the thing. I mean, admittedly, I was always the Trekkie of our group.
Yeah. Star
So-
Trek is boring.
Yeah, it is. It's so boring and so delicious, and much more rich and fulfilling.
Let's talk about space politics for 45 fucking minutes over and over.
You see, you're just watching the wrong episodes.
I've never seen Star Trek.
Yeah,
I just know from
it
what
is
I
a
know.
lot of space politics.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to say that it isn't. I'm just saying that there are better storylines.
Do you like things going up for auction, Remington?
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. So, the illustrious Viscount Terry W. Irvin II turned me on to a website where you could get audiobooks for free in return for reviews.
Oh, okay.
And I really have enjoyed listening to audiobooks. And I decided, I'm going to start listening to these. And if I'm going to be required to give a review, then I will place the reviews on the Dueling Ogres podcast website as well.
Yeah.
So the first one that I did was Dragonfire Prophecy Book 1, City of Magic. The book is by Jack Knight, and it was narrated by Megan Barber. So that was the first one that I wrote a review on. I have another one that I'm working on currently. And then there is a third one that it was like the first two were like, the first one was a fantasy. The second one was a lit RPG. And this third one is a book. It's a business book called Side Hustle.
Oh, okay.
And it's all about taking your side hustle and making it more profitable, et cetera, and so on.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it plays into the podcast, what we can do to make the podcast something that's more business oriented while still, keeping it a side hustle. Same thing with Ginger's Pearl business, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Those are both side hustles. And, eventually, if you pull the right chords, you can get a side hustle to be your main hustle. And if you're really good, you can turn your main side hustle into your only job that, you only have to put in 10 hours a week for and still be making bank.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an absolute thing that you can do. And that frees you up to do all sorts of other things.
Start more side hustles.
Yeah, and do more side hustles, diversify, and just, make a ton of money and not have to do a ton of work to do so. That's not to say that it doesn't take a ton of work to get it started, but once you have that foot in the door, once you have that established thing, that makes everything else that much easier going forward.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was an interesting kind of like lead into what you could potentially be talking about.
Something going to auction?
Yeah, because one of the things in the side hustle book is taking items that you have found at like Goodwill, and those sorts of places, and flipping them on eBay, which is an auction site.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay, I see the connection.
that was my segue.
I thought you just wanted to talk about how you're whoring out the Dueling Ogres website for free audiobooks.
No, but totally. Anyway, look forward to that article about that book, which will come out in the next, 3 or 4 weeks.
Ideally. Maybe.
Yeah. Just look for the website. Just watch the website. That's all.
Constantly
just
watch
constantly
the website.
refresh the website. Click all the links and go to all of them and listen to all of the previous podcasts.
Do it.
Didn't
we have somebody like suddenly all of our episodes got downloaded?
Yeah, that's the fun thing about, like, if you go into iTunes and click download, it'll just download all of the episodes. So even if you never listen to them, if you do that, I mean, that helps our downloads.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that too.
For whatever that's worth.
It counts as a download. That's all I'm concerned about. I mean, I want people to listen and enjoy it, but we only have a few people who actually tell us about how much they like our voices.
Yeah.
We
but
could
the
have
ones
more
that
of
do,
those.
they love him.
They do. They're sultry.
Yeah. Not nasally at all.
Self-deprecation. Anyway, tell me about this auction.
Are you familiar with the Nintendo PlayStation?
The Nintendo PlayStation?
Yes.
I am not.
Nintendo was working with Sony at one point
Okay.
to make the Nintendo PlayStation.
Okay.
They were going to make a CD drive for the Nintendo, like a hybrid system. And that was going to be kind of the future of where Nintendo was going to go.
Okay.
This was around the time of the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Well, Nintendo decided not to go in that direction and instead developed the Nintendo 64.
Right.
Sony took their technology that they had brought to the table and turned that into the PlayStation, which I think outsold the Nintendo 64. So the PlayStation obviously has been one of the most successful consoles now of all time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, there were some prototypes made of the Nintendo PlayStation.
Yeah.
And one of them has been found, a working prototype that is going to auction on February 27th on the Heritage Auction Service.
Oh, wow.
The current owner's name is Terry Diebold. In talking with Kotaku, Diebold says that after years of bringing the device on tours and conventions, passing up previous hefty offers north of $1 million.
Wow.
He's finally ready to part with the device and actually make some money for him and his son, who found it in the first place.
Wow.
So Terry worked at a company developing this prototype.
Okay.
And making software for this prototype,
Uh-huh.
amongst other things. Once this merger died,
Yeah.
he was tasked with cleaning up an office.
Uh-huh.
And he just ended up taking some of the boxes home with him.
Yeah.
And in one of those boxes was this working Nintendo prototype.
Oh, wow.
He was given this stuff, so the company can't now come back and be like, hey, that was actually ours, you can't sell it.
Yeah.
So that's how it came into possession. And his son found it, posted it on Reddit, and it caused a whole thing on Reddit where people were like, that can't be real. That's not the case.
Yeah.
But it turns out it was.
Wow.
Gonna sell for probably over $1 million.
That's crazy.
Turning a side hustle into a main hustle.
Yeah. Only that's just like one thing. So
it's not really.
it's not really a side hustle.
It's just.
But it is a well-paying, or a really good payday.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a good individual hustle.
It's a good put your fucking son through college hustle.
I wonder how much percentage an auction site would take off of what you sell.
I don't know. I think it varies for the amount. So, like, if it's a large amount, they take less, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Because I know that they have to get a stipend. You
Oh,
know.
I'm sure. I expected
Or a
you to know more
stipend.
about the auction world, Remington.
I don't, because it's not really something that interests me. I don't like flipping things.
Yeah.
That involves me learning about items that I may or may not care about. That's one of those things where you kind of have to just enjoy finding the information.
I always thought flipping things could be fun.
It could be if you like I said, if you're interested in just learning new things about random bits and bobs, then, some people really enjoy finding out just new, interesting history behind items.
Yeah.
And that's just, I've watched enough of the, what's that auction show that they have?
Oh shit, I can't remember.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one where people bring their stuff to auction and an auctioneer will be like, this painting's actually a Van Gogh and it's worth $100,000.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't really care about that.
Antiques Roadshow?
Yeah, there you go. Antiques
Yeah.
Roadshow. I don't know. My excitement level doesn't go up when I find stuff like that out. But some people really enjoy it. I mean, I know Ginger watches it pretty regularly, so.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just go down my list of stories here.
Go for it.
The 4th Jackass movie is coming out.
What?
Yeah.
I thought all of them were dead.
March 5th, 2021. No, just one of them is dead.
Yeah, that's true. Just one. Oh.
Johnny Knoxville is like, what, in his 50s now?
Yeah. Yep. Just looked off dreamily.
Yeah, you did.
I have a hardcore crush on Johnny Knoxville.
Do you really?
Yeah. No. I don't know. I was just making stuff up for audio purposes.
Comedic
Brandon.
effects.
Yeah.
It was a little thing called comedy, Brandon. Maybe you've heard of it. So yeah, Jackass, I don't really care about it. I'm sure I'll watch the movie when it comes to streaming services.
It ran its course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a thing that happened. It was part of our childhood.
Are we in a time where Jackass is just out of time anymore?
I don't know. I mean, everybody will always enjoy watching people get hurt and then watching friends play terrible pranks on each other.
I mean, Impractical Jokers is a hugely popular show.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I just grew out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not very nice to do.
Don't hit your friend with a giant hand.
Don't do that. Oh, that's his baby maker. How is he going to have children that don't come out with one arm?
His genitals.
His genitalia. That's not nice to do to a person.
I just want to hear an old man say his genitals over and over and over.
You just did.
His genitals.
His genitals. Oh. I have some space news for you, Brandon.
Ooh, okay. You know how excited I always am about space news.
So this one came out December 19th, 2019 on phys.org. Probably short for physics.
Yep, that's a apt guess.
The cotton candy planet mysteries unravel in new Hubble observations. Super Puffs may sound like a new breakfast cereal, but it's actually
Fizz.org.
But it's actually the nickname for a unique and rare class of young exoplanets that have the density of cotton candy.
Huh.
Nothing like them exists in our solar system. New data from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope have provided the first clues to the chemistry of 2 of these super puffy planets, which are located in the Kepler-51 system. This exoplanet system, which actually boasts 3 super puffs orbiting a young sun-like star, was discovered by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope in 2012. However, it wasn't until 2014 when the low densities of these planets were determined, to the surprise of many. The recent Hubble observations allow a team of astronomers to refine the mass and size estimates for these worlds, independently confirming their puffy nature. Though no more than several times the mass of Earth, their hydrogen-helium atmospheres are so bloated they are nearly the size of Jupiter. In other words, these planets might look as big and as bulky as Jupiter, but are roughly 100 times lighter in terms of mass. How and why these atmospheres balloon outwards remains unknown, but this feature makes super puffs prime targets for atmospheric investigation. Using Hubble, the team went looking for evidence of components, notably water, in the atmospheres of the planets, called Kepler 51b and 51d. Hubble observed the planets when they passed in front of their star, aiming to observe the infrared colors of their sunsets. Astronomers deduced the amount of light absorbed by the atmosphere in infrared light. This type of observation allows scientists to look for the telltale signs of the planet's chemical constituents, such as water. To the amazement of the Hubble team, they found the spectra of both planets not to have any telltale chemical signatures. They attribute this result to clouds of particles high in their atmospheres. This was completely unexpected, said Jessica Libby Roberts of the University of Colorado, Boulder. We had planned on observing large water absorption features, but they just weren't there. We were clouded out! Exclamation point. However, unlike Earth's water clouds, the clouds on these planets may be composed of salt crystals or photochemical hazes like those found on Saturn's largest moon, Titan.
Huh.
Yep. So this article goes on for several more paragraphs as
They are
science
wont to do.
articles are wont to do. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cute and interesting new planet structure.
Yeah,
where
that's
it's just-
weird.
There's just so many like random chemicals floating around it that it makes it puffy, quote unquote puffy.
Do you like cotton candy?
I do like cotton candy.
So do I.
Yeah, it's a good thing. What do you think about cotton candy planets? Do you think we should eat them?
I know I would.
I'd cover myself with pickled mustard and relish. I'd be delicious. Wash myself down with an ice cold Budweiser. Hi, Norm! Sorry, that's what it reminded me of.
That's what I was going for.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah. It's amazing the things that we're finding out every day.
Well,
it seems like the science news is coming fast and furious anymore as far as
I
discovering
remember
new
that they had
planets.
found supposedly had found another black hole like within our galaxy or something like that. That was very interesting. And then it turned out to not be a black hole, I think is what it was. I don't remember now. I don't have the articles readily available, but I remember something like that. Like it was big news there for a hot second. And then they were like, oh, nope, it wasn't really a black hole. I don't know. I don't remember.
Damn scientists.
I know.
Always
Being wrong about things.
black hole teasing us.
And then being right. Using evidence to prove theories.
Speaking
dare
of
they.
science, Remington,
Yeah?
there's a company called Promobot that offers the new Robo-C, a robot that you can get to look like whoever you want, a loved one or yourself.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Quote, comes complete with artificial intelligence, emotion, speech recognition, active face mechanics with 18 moving parts, and more than 600 microfacial features.
Oh, I don't like any of this.
The ability to communicate in 7 different languages, and the ability to create any appearance.
Nope, I don't like any of this.
Your Robo-C can be delivered to your home or office, complete with its own robotic complex,
What?
a charging station, and protective glass cube.
Is it just like a head?
No, it's a full robot.
Full-blown robot?
Go on YouTube real quick. Pull it up.
Man. I don't know. I don't want to. What's it called?
Look up Promobot Robo-C. Robo-C. I just want to love you, Remington.
So, okay, hold on. Let me rewind it here. God. Well, we're certainly not approaching the uncanny valley on this one. Robo-C, emotion, speech recognition system, artificial intelligence, active face mechanics, ability to create any appearance. If you like disturbingly monsterized robotic versions of your loved ones. Okay, so this video goes through with this robot making faces. It's going through different emotions. It goes with anger, which looks like its resting face anyway.
Yeah.
Surprise, which looks like anger but not as much ang. Fear, which looks like anger with not as much grr.
Eyes.
It just has eyes. They move. Eyes plus mouth.
This is, to be fair, this is not an English company. So this is probably a weird translation of what they were trying to go for.
Я автономный человекоподобный робот, способный общаться с людьми и отвечать на вопросы, распознавать лица и речи, выполнять функции собеседника, персонального советника, а также иметь внешность любого человека.
Sounded like Russian to me.
Yeah, or some kind
I
of
don't-
Russian language.
I don't know if I want a Russian-made robot to enter my household.
That looks like whoever you want.
Yeah.
Когда в России можно будет поймать первое робота-такси, как гуманоиды помогут сократить
Robot taxi in Russia. Oh. Sorry. Click through on a secondary video. That's the ADHD fucking acting out the ADD.
Ooh, another video.
Ooh, another video talking about robots. Let's watch that. I have 15 minutes. the story of my fucking life, Brandon.
So if you had just the unending wealth, would you get this robot?
No.
No?
I don't. No, I have no desire to have like an unreasonable facsimile of anybody in robot form in my presence. Like,
You could get any.
if I had unlimited wealth, I'd just go meet these people. Like, except for the ones who were dead, you know?
Yeah.
And then at what point, why would I have to have a robot of a dead person? Like,
For
I would
fucking.
have. No, that's terrifying. And that was just the head. That was just the head.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Number one, I would not be putting any of my parts inside of their parts because my parts are a lot more fleshy and weak.
Yeah. That thing's going to chomp
It's like
right through
Zap
it.
Brannigan said. The body is willing, but the bones are fleshy and weak. Or the mind is willing, but the body is fleshy and weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But anyway, like it would be like if I programmed it to be Robin Williams, but it wouldn't be Robin Williams. And I know it wouldn't be Robin Williams, so there'd be no point.
Why would you want to have sex with Robin Williams?
Because he was the best man ever.
oh.
Oh boy. Nanu. Yep.
I just see pounding that robot from behind.
The-
Man, they really programmed this thing great.
Wow, you really
Oh.
did. You brought it to that next level that nobody wanted it to be at.
Listeners at home, there was a collective thousands of people going, ugh.
Yeah. I felt a great disturbance in the force. And it wasn't me slamming Robin Williams from behind. Jesus.
They showed an example of an Einstein robot. I could
Uh-huh.
see this for learning,
What-
for like
Well,
schools.
why
and
couldn't I
stuff.
see that? Why did they have to show me this weird Russian fella?
Because they were showing off the emotions and stuff.
Einstein robot Robo-C. Can I see that? Is that a thing that I can see? Is this
There you
it?
go.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Есть только две бесконечные вещи.
It sounds like the exact same fucking voice from the previous
It
one.
probably is.
Вселенная и глупость. Хотя насчет вселенной я не уверен.
I mean, it looks like a cartoon Einstein.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like real Einstein.
No. I mean, it kind of does. But in a cartoony sort of way.
How much do you think something like that costs?
$4.2 million.
There's actually no price listed.
Oh, that makes sense. Probably because it won't sell.
Man, you're really against this robot.
Just
I haven't seen you hate something like this in a while.
there, I appreciate them wanting to bring robotics to. I love. Sorry, ADD again. I love this thumbnail of Putin fucking shaking this robot's hand.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is, but I love it. I have a soft spot in my heart for that mass murderer. I don't know why. It's probably because I saw him shirtless on a horse once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Robotics still, especially for facial like reconstruction, I guess, still has a long way to go.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I'd sooner
Sooner the money go elsewhere.
I'd sooner not see that be a thing that happens. But I guess if people buy into it, that's just more money going into the robotic community. Hopefully, that way, Robo-C version 3.0 might have a face that doesn't look so terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thought on it.
Good thoughts.
Thanks. If anybody has a person or previous loved one or a loved one that you'd like to have immortalized in robot form in your house, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. And if you have the money for one of these robots, I'm more than willing to allow you to fly me out there
Mm-hmm.
to where they make the robots so they can scan me
Yeah, and they can
and
model
get me
your
from
face.
all angles,
Yeah,
and you can have a Brandon robot.
yeah, that would be cool. I think I would be okay with having a Brandon robot,
A Russian-speaking Brandon
a Russian
robot.
speaking Brandon robot. Yeah, for sure. That way you could teach me how to do Russian.
Yeah.
How to do Russian, not
How to do
speak it,
Russian.
just how to do Russian.
I tried to learn Russian on Duolingo,
Yeah.
but you have to have a Cyrillic keyboard.
Oh yeah.
So I could not.
Why couldn't you just download one for your phone?
I probably could have, but I didn't care to learn Russian that much.
Dostoevsky, comrade.
Dostoevsky.
Yeah.
Fyodor.
Guten Tag. Oh wait. That's not Russian.
Do you care about He-Man?
I care about it more than this robot.
Okay, fair enough.
You're like, thanks.
All
Fucking
right.
try to bring some content. You
So
just
much
shit
for
all
that
over it.
story.
No, it just terrifies me.
My robo feelings.
Oh.
Netflix announces a second Masters of the Universe cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
This one in 3D.
Interesting. I
This
don't know
is
why.
separate from Kevin Smith's 2D Masters of the Universe Revelation cartoon.
And that one focused around She-Ra, didn't it? Or am I wrong?
Neither of them are out yet.
Okay.
There was a She-Ra cartoon.
Uh-huh. Kevin
Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation is a continuation of the 80s He-Man.
Right.
And then the Netflix's new 3D Masters of the Universe is a reimagining of the original He-Man.
Okay.
Like an origin story.
Okay. Okay.
So 2 separate He-Man cartoons in the works. Are
Okay.
people really clamoring for that much He-Man?
I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I enjoyed He-Man. It was one of the things that I watched as a kid. I don't remember it very well, though.
Yeah.
You know, because I was pretty young. Because He-Man, I mean, I was born in '83, and He-Man was like 84 to 87, maybe. Masters of the Universe was 83 to 85. So I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, you were close.
Yeah.
Not close
So,
enough,
I mean, I
but
was
you were
only-
still close.
I was only 2 years old. I was watching it in syndication. So
Yeah. I never watched He-Man. I was always a Ninja Turtles kid.
yeah, I watched Ninja Turtles as well, for sure. They played a lot more things in syndication than they do nowadays, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least longer or older things, you know? Like they brought it back in the 90s. And then there was the New Adventures of He-Man.
Those weren't bad. I like the art style and the
They
toys
came
were
out
cool.
in the 90s. But I remember the original 80s version. I don't even remember the art style for this one. And then there was the 87 film with Dolph Lundgren.
Have you seen that?
I did see that, yep.
Is it as terrible as people make it out to be?
And so much more. It was wonderful though. I really enjoyed it. It was in that realm of those really campy but so fantastic fantasy movies. It was really good. I liked it.
Yeah. I just don't know who they're making He-Man for.
I don't know either.
And
But to be fair, there's
that's what
been-
blew my mind is 2.
Yeah,
He-Man
too.
cartoons.
To be fair, there were so many turtle spin-offs. I guess why not?
Yeah, that's true. There
Like
was a
maybe
lot
they
of turtles.
feel maybe they feel like turtles have run their course.
Turtles never run their course.
That's because they're very slow.
Mm-hmm.
See, I made a joke there.
That was good.
Thanks.
Good joke, Rim.
Thank you, Brandon.
So that's my He-Man story.
All right.
I'm going to end every story like that now.
So
Apparently.
that's that one story that I
So
did
that's
just
my
now.
He-Man story.
Yeah.
Cha 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 cha.
Womp, 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 womp.
This is back to Star Wars news. The Skywalker Saga boxed set is available to pre-order through Best Buy already.
What is the Skywalker Saga box set?
All 9 Star Wars movies,
Oh, okay.
including Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
You get all digital copies, 4K Blu-rays, regular Blu-rays for all the 9 main Star Wars films across 27 discs.
Uh-huh.
I didn't write down the price because I'm dumb,
Okay.
but from what I remember, I think it's around $230 to $280.
yeah.
It's in the 200s somewhere.
Hmm.
So yeah, already up, available to pre-order.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Speaking of things mashed together, Brandon,
Yeah.
like the Star Wars trilogies, all standalone movies in their own right.
I don't know if I quite follow you on this one, but okay.
So, much to Bucky's excitement, I finally finished the first part of Crisis on Infinite Earths,
Yeah.
CW's DC shows.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Did you watch all of the episodes?
I have watched all of the episodes so far. It's not done. So it's almost like it's kind of a 2-part crossover.
Yeah, the next part's in January.
And the
isn't
next
it?
part, is coming up in January when everybody comes back from their Christmas break. So we'll see everything kind of wrap up. It did feel a little rushed toward the end there.
Okay.
But one of the big prophecies was that in order for the universe to be saved, the Flash has to die.
All right. I'm with you so far.
So that was a big thing that was played up. And, I mean, I think it's been long enough that I think it's okay to drop spoilers.
Yeah, fuck it. Might as well.
So they say that the Flash has to die, but they never say which Flash has to die.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and we're talking about a Crisis on Infinite Earths, so it's talking about the entire multiverse. So the entirety of the multiverse is wiped out except for Earth 1.
Which is our Earth?
Which is the Earth on which most things are happening.
Okay.
Let's see here. Arrow, Flash, Legends, I think all happen on Earth 1. Supergirl is happening on Earth 38, if I remember correctly. They brought in Black Lightning, but he was happening on a different Earth as well. So that's why there wasn't a ton of crossover between them. But he does make an appearance in this. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting? Maybe I'm not. Anyway, they kind of bring them all on. Of course, there's been so many world jumping, especially with Flash, that it's always hard to keep everything straight. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed, like I said, I felt a little rushed toward the end. You have the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor. And it seems like a Harrison Wells from another Earth accidentally released the Anti-Monitor. And he becomes what is called Pariah, who is supposed to just watch as the things unfold.
Oh, okay.
As tragedy unfolds. So the Anti-Monitor ends up killing the Monitor, and now we're left with the last bit is the Pariah gets one last moment to make things right, and he puts the heroes, the Paragons, into a dimension that sits outside of time and space.
For them to figure out what to do?
Yeah. We also have Brandon Routh reprising his role as the Superman from the movie that he did.
Oh, okay.
So in one of these different worlds, he plays the Atom in
Legends.
Yeah. He plays the Atom in Legends, but, he played Superman in the movies. So he reprises his role as Superman, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So Lex Luthor also has a role to play in this, because Lex Luthor is the mind that really can't be beat, right? That's kind of his whole shtick. So the Monitor recruits him after his sister, his adoptive sister, kills him. She shoots him in one of the Supergirl episodes.
All right.
Yeah. And she thinks she killed him, and she didn't. The Monitor resurrects him and keeps him in his little Monitor cave until the time is right.
Because he has a part to play in everything,
because he has
too.
a part to play, yeah. So he gets a hold of it's basically a omniscient book that can change the outcome of everything, right? I forget exactly what it's called off the top of my head.
City of Magic.
The City of Magic. While he has it, he ends up tearing a page from it, and that page. So all of the Paragons are shunted into this outside of time and space realm, and Brandon Routh Superman starts like curling up in pain, and he starts glowing red, and he's dying, and they're like, we don't know what's happening, and all of a sudden fucking Lex Luthor pops up in his place. He's like, well, I'm glad that worked the way that it was supposed to, or something like that. So now he kills he gets this book, and he's going through time, going through the multiverse, killing all of the Supermans, because that's his fucking, his crazy is that he wants to kill all of the Supermen.
Yeah.
They had the Smallville Superman who had given up his powers. He made an appearance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Lex Luthor shows up to kill him, and he's like, well, he pulls up some kryptonite, and he looks at it, and he takes it from him, and he's just like, he chucks it out into the field, and Luthor's like, that's kryptonite. That should be hurting you. And he's like, I gave up my powers, man. He's like, why would you do that? You were a god. And you hear kids and the wife in the background. And he's like, really? You gave it up for that? And then he starts going on his soliloquy and creeping up on him. He's like, I'm going to, blah, 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 blah. And regular powered Superman just decks him. He's like, still stronger. And then he just disappears.
So Lex Luthor is played by John Cryer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Does he do a good job as
Oh,
Lex
he does
Luthor?
a fantastic job. It's so I didn't like it at first just because, you know, I still have that Lex Luthor art style from those 90s cartoons where
Yeah.
everybody was the big boxy, you know.
Like the Batman animated series Lex Luthor.
Yeah, they all had that big boxy muscly look to them. And, you know, just all of the main characters had that look. So to see little John Cryer as Lex Luthor, it was a bit of I guess a culture shock, I guess you could call it. But no, he does such a fantastic job. Always 4 steps ahead of everybody else.
Oh, wow. He does look pretty good.
Yeah. And then after the episodes, they had Crisis Aftermath that was hosted by Kevin Smith, which we did not know about. Otherwise, we would have recorded them. So we didn't get to see all of these outtakes and bits and bobs. And
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, we're a little disappointed. Every time we'd end an episode, we would cuss. We would cuss that we didn't know that this was going to happen.
So would you recommend trying to watch it? Like, if I haven't seen any of the other shows at all, would I be totally lost trying to watch this?
I would say kind of yes, because there were a lot of episodes in the regular seasons that touched on leading up to Crisis. It's not exactly a standalone one like the other ones were, because they put there are a couple episodes in each season prior leading up to Crisis.
All right. So
Yeah.
it'd be a lot to watch because Bucky was trying to get me to watch it,
Yeah,
which first off, I have no fucking way to watch it. So good luck with that.
right.
And second, it's so much TV to catch up on.
Yeah, I would say with Crisis, like the first crossover, you could have probably watched it without, or with the first crossover. Did I say crossover or Crisis?
You said crossover.
Okay. I don't even know what words are coming out of my mouth anymore. But with the first crossover, you probably could have watched it standalone and it would have been fine. And then you probably would have gotten attached to the characters and maybe have watched the seasons.
Yeah.
But with this one, you really kind of have to know at least a little bit of what's going on, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they brought back Constantine, which he had his own show for a little while and they canceled it.
Yeah.
But they brought him back as an addition to Legends. So he has been playing a role in Legends and had joined the Legends crew.
Same actor.
Yeah, same actor. Mm-hmm. I don't know why Constantine didn't last.
Yeah, it only made it one season, didn't
I
it?
think so. I don't know why. But I really enjoy the bits and bobs that focus on him. I didn't get to watch the series, but the episodes that focus around him seem to be really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like they maybe folded some of the stories from what could have been future episodes into
what
Legends.
he's into Legends.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There you go, Bucky. I watched it. I really enjoyed it so far.
There's something for you, Buckster.
Yep.
Buckmaster Flash.
Buckmaster Flash.
Zack Snyder continues releasing teases about his Snyder cut of the Justice League movie. Have you seen people posting, "Give us the Snyder cut"?
No.
Yeah. Zack Snyder came out after Justice League released and was like, well, my version was way better and they didn't let me put it out, but I have a way better version with Green Lantern in it and everybody's cooler and it's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to allow him to put it out?
Probably not.
Yeah. I wouldn't figure.
But he keeps teasing like black and white images from his cut with little quotes of dialogue.
Yeah.
It just seems like ego to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't really like Zack Snyder, do you?
No, I like Zack Snyder.
Do
All right.
you? Okay.
Mhm. I just,
don't know.
in this instance, I think that it's blah.
Yeah.
But I liked Watchmen. He did Watchmen, didn't he? Wasn't that Zack Snyder? Not the HBO one, but the original movie.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I like the stuff I've seen. I liked Justice League all right. I didn't think it was terrible like most people did.
Yeah.
Snyder told fans that he's never even watched Joss Whedon's version of Justice League, which is the one that came out.
Yeah.
Which again seems like a petulant child just crossing their arms like, I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I didn't even watch Joss Whedon's version. Stolen it from me.
Benignly explaining that there are a lot of reasons why, Snyder explained he's heard enough fan chatter to convince him he should just live with his own ideas of what the movie should be, and that he plans to keep staying away from Justice League's theatrical release.
Okay.
So yeah, just seems like a child to me.
I guess a little bit, yeah. But I mean, I guess I can understand where he's coming from. Like a director, really kind of puts their heart and soul into whatever project they're trying to do. So
Yeah.
when it gets kind of, taken away from you and somebody else takes the helm and changes things around for whatever reasons they change them.
Yeah, I understand where he's coming from to a certain extent.
But at the same time, I mean, it was Joss Whedon who took over it. So
yeah. And the movie came out 2 years ago at this point, 3 years ago, however long ago it was.
Yeah. I say, let him put it out.
Do it. Put it right out.
Let's see his version. Let's see if it was better. Let's truly see if it was better. We'll have a Snyder Whedon off.
Back to back.
That sounds like a
Snyder Whedon off.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad Russian bad guy name.
Do Svidanya.
Snyder Whedon off. Yeah. All right. Does that wrap us up?
I think that wraps us up.
Okay.
I have another story that's super long, so maybe next time we record, I can talk about this.
Maybe, or it'll be another 3 months before we get something out. We'll see.
It probably will be.
Maybe. So the next semester starts the week of January 13th. Depending on my workload, I will not make anyone any promises as to whether or not I can work the podcast in. But hopefully, cross your fingers and toes for me that I can keep my shit in such a fashion that I can stay on top of homework, work, and be able to have some time to bust out some podcast as well.
Yeah. Even if we can do it every other week or once a month.
Yeah. Just
until
something.
Summer break happens.
Yep, something like that. That would be wonderful. So if you have any questions or comments or you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call us at 978-DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres. Email us at duelingogres@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Facebook page. I would say like these nice people, but it's so far removed.
It's been so long. I know that Viscount Terry W. Irvin II left us a very nice comment.
Yep.
I don't remember what it said, but thank you, Terry.
Yep, thank you.
I'll make a note of, if you comment again on this episode, I'll make a note of it so next time we record, I can actually read your comment out loud.
Yeah, there we go. We'll be a little more prepared at least.
Yes. This was kind of a last minute slapdash.
Yep. Hey,
recording.
Do you have time to do it? Yeah, I have time to do it. Okay, let's do it. Make sure to subscribe to our website, duelingogres.com, for new shows and articles pertaining to some of your favorite geek news. Keep an eye open for those articles of audiobooks that I'm going to be making. Next one up is the Lit RPG novel, which I really enjoyed. I actually listened to it like 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to have to go back through and listen to Terry's as well so I can give him a proper review, both in Audible and on our website. Give him the love that he deserves. The book is called Ascension, Hunter's Dream Online Book 1. It's a virtual reality. So you put on the visor and it puts you into a state of REM sleep. So you're actually resting while you're playing.
Okay.
And it's very World of Warcraft-esque. So it's got a little bit of a mix of World of Warcraft, a little bit of a mix of like Dungeons and Dragons to it, but it's not like overly. From what I've heard a lot of lit RPGs can be really kind of rule heavy when it comes to like explaining their game.
Yes.
This one is not so. So this one, it touches on it a little bit and then really kind of tells the story, which I enjoyed. So if you're wanting to get into lit RPGs, Terry's is the same way from what other people have sent him reviews of.
Yes.
That his isn't super. It's more story-oriented and less rules-oriented.
You said story-oriented, which I think is a great portmanteau.
Thanks. This book is very similar. So if you don't want to get bogged down in rule speak, Terry's Lit RPGs series and this Ascension Hunter's Dream Online by J.R. Davis. Both very good introductions into the lit RPG world. No matter what all of those hardcore lit RPG listeners say or readers say. Because a lot of those people who are like really into that genre really like the rules.
They want the like crunchy numbers.
Yeah, they want
stuff.
the number crunchies. And I'm okay with not having number crunchies.
Yeah,
That's
me
why
too.
I play real D&D.
Exactly.
I don't need to read about it unless I'm reading the player's handbook. And finally, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes because that helps boost us higher on the cool kids list. Or you can also find us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast and places that you didn't even think you could find a podcast.
Look under a tree.
Look under a tree. We'll be
Podcast.
there. You'll find
Smash a bird.
You'll find a little ogre den. Don't smash a bird. That's not nice.
But if you did smash a bird, if you happen to,
Inside of the guts, you would find Dueling
Ogres podcast.
Yep. Just don't do that. I mean,
don't smash a bird.
Don't-
What's wrong with you?
Monster. Why? Why would
You're
you do
sick.
that? Yes. Terrible human being. So until next week, ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night. Ah. The recording has started.
Oh, shit.
Thaddeus is looking at me. He looks concerned. Now he's not concerned anymore.
You're just concerned for a second.
Yep. That's all a cat can stand to be concerned.
Yeah.
Just a moment in time. Every other time is filled with sleeping. Man, that dude loves my fucking bed. Like, he never leaves it almost. He loves his dad stink, I guess.
Yeah, even when I was here before, he always seems to be laying on your bed.
Yeah. Yep, I don't know. Just loves my stank.
It reminds him of the womb.
The stanky kitty womb. Smells like boy sweat.
I washed my sheets for the first time in a year a couple days ago.
Oh my god. That's impressive.
Yeah, it was too long. I
Yeah.
realized. So finally I was like, man, I really need
You're
to
like,
wash
wait a
these
minute,
freaking
when was the
sheets."
last time? Like, you've moved since then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hadn't thought about it.
Huh. I guess there's no reason to.
I mean, nobody else is sleeping on my bed but me, so
Exactly.
what are you going to do?
Nothing. That's what. Not wash your sheets. Fuck it. Who cares? I can't say anything. I don't know when the last time I washed my sheets was either.
Thaddeus will have a fit.
Currently not one on my bed. But that's because that mattress is very thick and I need new sheets. Maybe that's what I should have asked for Christmas.
New sheets.
Yeah.
New thick sheets.
Some thick ass pocket sheets.
Dear Santa.
Dear Santa, give me some thick ass pocket sheets. Them sheets, they need to be thick ass.
Yeah.
With 2 C's.
We're not cool enough to use that kind of slang.
We're not allowed to say thick.
now. Thick.
Figures. That boy's thick, boy. Damn, boy. I've been watching way too much TikTok. It's a real easy thing to fucking get sucked into.
Is it?
Yeah, stupid. Just fucking video to video to video. Dumb as hell.
Thor is obsessed with TikTok. I can't get into it, but I probably would if I actually downloaded it.
Maybe. It's really close to my face. I don't want to speak loud at the moment.
Yeah, just get real close and
Just
talk
get in
quiet.
there. Just get in there. It's Dueling Ogres ASMR style.
Hello, ogres, and welcome to another sexy episode.
It's so good.
Is it weird that I associate ASMR with sex?
No. I guess some people are down with that.
I mean, I don't want to have ASMR sex,
Right.
but it's just something, it seems so close and personal. Maybe that's what people like about ASMR,
Yeah,
having someone right in your ear like that.
I guess. I don't know. Apparently there are people who it actually like it's a very intense stimulation. But from my understanding, many of those people are like that's a very small niche. And I think everybody else just listens to it because they're fucking weird.
Yeah. Like listening to somebody quietly eat popcorn.
Yeah. Okay, you ready to do this? How many stories did you bring? I have 1.
I have like 6 or 7.
Oh, okay, then we're fine. We're fine. Let's just be a Brandon talking episode. All right. Well, at least we still have that.
Yeah, we got that fucking spot
It was
on.
fucking down packed.
Boom.
Yeah.
As you would say, blammo.
Bingo bango. I have to poop.
I have to pee, so let me pee first. The end.